the Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to a Pat Mayo Experience Breaking News Mini presented by DraftKings 2021 Fantasy Football Week 1 Rankings Update. Gus Edwards likely out for the season for the Baltimore Ravens. It wouldn't be the opening night if something crazy didn't happen. That will affect everything. In the rundown for this, I'm going through the Week 1 rankings, what to do in terms of pickups, how to project out the Ravens backfield going forward, win total and spread for the week, and I want in the comments section, let me know who you think the running back to own is in Baltimore for the rest of the season. Now, it could be no one, that could be your answer, or it could be someone who's not even on the team right now. So make your pick down in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to Mayo Media Network as well. And play in the DraftKings Listeners League too. The link's in the description. Just go play in that. It's the best tournament on DraftKings if you haven't already because it's filled almost quickly, so I thought I should let you know again. Anyway, Gus Edwards done for the year. More than likely, it's not official as of yet, but that's what all the reports have said. So, what are we doing in this backfield for Week 1? I've updated my rankings on DKNation.com. You can find all of the updated rankings, the hyperlinks with the list. Maybe you just want to go check those out. They are in the description right now. They're all completely updated as of Thursday evening. I'll be updating them again on Friday evening when I do the injury recap, the DraftKings ownership show. That will be Friday night, Saturday morning. You can check that out on Mayo Media Network. But for this week, I have Tyson Williams at number 31. I did not include Le'Veon Bell in the rankings, and I put Trenton Cannons to the left of them. Cannons to the right of them. Jeffrey, my man, he's way down at the bottom of the list, at like number 57, because Le'Veon Bell isn't actually on the 53-man roster as I am speaking right now. Should he be added, I would put him in the rankings. I would still expect Williams to not move from that spot. Bell becomes highly unplayable, even though he would be technically active for this game. I don't envision that happening. So for this week, it's Williams at 31, Cannon at the bottom. You can check back on Saturday or Sunday if Bell gets added. I would not recommend playing him in Week 1. And I don't even really know how this backfield is going to shake down, especially right now with this news just breaking, but it does seem like Williams has the lead on the situation, but Lamar might get the most carries in this backfield. You always have to anticipate that. And we talk about pickups in the Ravens backfield. Obviously, Williams is the guy to go grab at the moment. However, if you have a free agent budget and you can't just go scoop someone off. If he's free and you can do it right now, do it right now. That's the move. For a bid, I put in a $9 bid in some places. I put in a $12 bid in my more competitive leagues with people who actually know anything. That's a bid probably designed to get him if no one else wants him. That's probably not a winning bid right now. You're probably going to have to go, especially with this news just breaking, and if your waivers clear this evening or tomorrow evening, and we do get the official word that Gus is out, it's probably going to be like $30, $31. Probably not worth it. It'll be good for a few weeks. But you have to remember that just even looking back at last year, whether it was Dobbins or Edwards or Ingram or Lamar or Justice Hill, no matter who it was, the Ravens had 6 separate players lead the team in rushing a year ago. So it's not like you're just with Dobbins, we were worried that Gus Edwards was going to eat into what he was doing. With Gus Edwards, it's like, all right, well, he's going to be the number 1, but Lamar is still going to get a bounty of carries himself. And then Williams will get into the mix. And if they sign someone else, maybe they'll get into the mix too. It's not like Dobbins went out, Gus Edwards became a running back 1. No, he became a safe running back 2 based on what his qualifications are and the workload that he was going to get. We don't know what's going to happen with Tyson Williams. So in that order, I'd go Williams, just go pick him up. He might be the guy. I don't think that he's going to be the guy, but he might be. So you might as well do it if it's free. I mentioned those fab bids. I would not pick up Le'Veon Bell unless you play in the deepest of leagues. And 99% of people watching right now don't play in those type of leagues. If Latavius Murray was dropped, he's probably going to sign in Baltimore. That's not a sure thing, but he would probably become the best running back on this team pretty quickly. He's way better than Le'Veon Bell. Objectively speaking, if they were both available right now, Bell and Murray, I would pick up Murray just in the hope that he signs with Baltimore versus dusty Le'Veon Bell. That guy's toast. Maybe he'll come and prove me wrong, and I'll have egg on my face. I've been wrong about plenty before, but no thank you having like the 3rd running back on the Ravens. And Trenton Cannon is more of a pass-catching back. We've seen him with the Jets, with the Panthers. He's right now, they put him on the 53-man over Le'Veon Bell because of special teams, but he might now get thrust into a backup role. Not someone like useful, but that is another body that's in play right now. So it's Williams, Murray, Bell. I mean, Murray signed somewhere else. You can go pick up Bell, but I just can't envision a time to ever play him. So what I actually did was I went on to runthesims.com, and you can do this. It's actually a free tool right now, the season-long projector. So you just punch in your email, You can use the change around the projections any way you want on Run the Sims. But if you want the optimizer and all of the tools and everything like that, that costs money. Those are premium tools, especially the optimizer. The optimizer is fantastic and it's customizable too. So runthesims.com/Mayo to get yourself 10% off. I highly recommend checking it out. But all I did is I put in some dummy numbers. So I had Lamar at a 26% rushing share on this team for the season. I have Tyson Williams at a 45.1% rushing share on this team. That would make him the lead back in this backfield. But you have to remember, with Lamar eating so many of those carries away, that the overall pie just isn't as big for the running backs, even though I did boost their rushing rate up to 48%, which is the highest of any team in football. So that 45% goes a lot longer than someone's 60% on a pass-heavy team, but it's still not what you want to be seeing. It's a lot like the Damian Harris situation from a year ago, but we already knew what his role was when Cam was playing. We knew that he was the lead guy, getting between 16 and 20 carries per game. We don't know that with Tyson Williams right now, because it might not be him. It might be Murray if they bring him in. So what I did was put in a placeholder. I put it out as, just because Justice Hill is out for the year, but I just put him at 30%. So 45% for running back one, 25% for Lamar, and then 30% left over for the rest of the running back. So even if I give Tyson Williams, I'm going to run this right now, 17-game projection for him, and we go look him up, we're going to be in a situation where I believe he's running back 42 for the year, something like that. Let's see. Tyson Williams, I would give him 230 carries for 806 yards. Pretty good year. We can boost him up in the touchdowns. I only have him at 4 touchdowns right now, but a lot of that had to do with I didn't rearrange those numbers. So let's give him 7 touchdowns. So that would make him somewhere around running back 30 for the season, because that pie just isn't going to be big enough. And then if we go down and just look at the facsimile for Le'Veon Bell, Latavius Murray, and like a split between them, if we just combine them all into one person and called them Justice Hill in terms of these projections, that's running back 47. And we expect that to be split probably between 2 and 3 guys, that actual production, which would only be 153 carries for 623 yards. Obviously, I have for 2 touchdowns, call it 5 touchdowns, whatever you want. So piecing them, if they were all one guy, all of the running backs I just mentioned, if they were one guy, they would be awesome. But that's the issue with the Ravens backfield. Although it's depleted at the moment, it's not going to be all that great when it comes down to the fantasy goodness unless one of these guys really seizes control. And I don't see that being Tyson Williams. I think he'll be fine. He'll probably be the 1A or even 1B to Lamar. If Latavius gets signed, he does have a chance to become the lead guy in this backfield. But all that really means is some of the goal line work and probably 15 carries on average. Maybe he gets up to 20 if they're doing really well in a game, although the Ravens do have a propensity to pull their really good players when they're up by 35, and they run trains on bad teams. So that actually happens far more often than you would think when it comes down to it. That's how Gus Edwards ended up with so many carries in a lot of games a season ago when Dobbins was actually the starter and Ingram was still in the mix, that they just got up and like, hey, here you go, Gus, just run for 6 yards per carry, ice this game for us. So the Ravens backfield is really tricky. I would go get Williams, like I said. I think that's a very healthy gamble to make, and you might luck into some upside. After that, it would be Murray, and then after that, it would be Le'Veon Bell. I wouldn't pick up Le'Veon Bell. 20-team league, sure. But even a 14-team league with the deep bench, you can do better than a Le'Veon. Go pick up Devontae Booker in case Saquon Barkley is like actually hurt. That guy's like more available than Le'Veon Bell somehow. So that's probably the better move. We talk about the rest of the year trends because there's actually something really important to this. But I did want to remind you that the Mayo Media Network prop contest starts this week. You have to do that on prizepicks.com. So go to deposit on prizepicks.com. If you use code MMN, you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, which would give you $200. It costs $7.11 to play per week. All the details are in the description, so you can find those there. You come play against me. It's $3,000 for first place, and you get weekly bonuses if you do well. Plus, you win your $7.11 entry at 10x, which would give you $71 for the week. It's a really low stakes way to play some props, and with that overall prize pool, and we get to play against each other. I'm playing in it, Cuss is playing in it, Jeff's playing in it, all the hosts are playing in it. So go check that out. It's down in the description, the Mayo Media Network prop contest right now. As it pertains to this week with the Ravens at the Vegas Raiders, the line hasn't moved, and that actually makes a ton of sense because losing J.K. Dobbins, losing Gus Edwards, hell, they could lose all their running backs for the season. It actually doesn't affect their win total or even points in a game. Running backs, especially at that level, don't matter at all to the Ravens. They just don't. Lamar matters. The offensive line matters. The scheme and coaching matters, and that scheme and coaching correlates with the offensive line and Lamar. And I'm not saying that one running back isn't better than another and would make that big of an impact, but on the season as a whole, especially when we look at the point spread, it doesn't mean shit. So don't worry too much about that if you're a Ravens fan. The thing that actually sucks is losing Marcus Peters on the other side of the ball, because he too appears like he is going to be out with a season-ending injury from practice. Like back-to-back plays with Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters at practice knocked them both out for the season. That's really bad luck. Not shocking Gus picked them as Super Bowl winners, and look what's happened to them since. That's a direct correlation, by the way. So you can @ Tim Anderson87 on Twitter and let him know how you feel if you're a Ravens fan. But the Peters injury is very significant to the overall quality of this defense. The defense right now, as it stands, is still good, but you've already lost one of your top players, especially a ball hawk like Peters, who just played off of everyone else so well. It allowed him that freedom to go out and ball hawk like that. Now we have to deal with the situation where if there's another injury in the secondary, well, all of a sudden the secondary is not so good. This could actually prove to be better for Lamar and the receivers in the long run. But if anything's going to impact the win total or the spread in any of these games, especially in week 1, it's actually the Marcus Peters injury, because honestly, the Gus Edwards injury is rather irrelevant to betting on the games and the actual win probability of the Baltimore Ravens. So keep that in mind when we're going through everything. Like I said, all of the rankings are down in the description. We went through everything. Smash a like for the video. Play in the DK Week 1 Listeners League. You can find that on YouTube right now and in any of the podcasts for the full-length Pat Mayo experience. It's filling very quickly. It's $15 to play, 3 max entry, no rake. So I suggest you go get in it right now. And if you do want to run your own projections because you think I'm an idiot, very easy to do at runthesims.com. You can do the projections for free with just your email, or you can go to runthesims.com/Mayo and get a discount on all of the premium DFS, season-long, and betting tools that all come in the one package. So go check that out right now. Props pool, too, by the way. I'll be back on Friday with Rob Pizzola and Cam Stewart on Friday morning, and then over on Fantasy Football Picks and Bets, all of my final plays for the week, the injury report, and the updated rankings. Thanks for watching. Good luck. See you next time.
Mayo experience! Experience!